Welcome to another episode of the Workbench. Had a really great Saturday racing cars with the guys, but in one of my races, the Super Stock, I am working on making a TOMY SRT go fast, and middle of the race, it put out that wonderful smell that we're all familiar with of the armature burning up. So get it back home, and I brought it over to my test block and put it on the test block, and this is the sound it made. So it sounds like it's doing okay, but I thought I would at least pull it apart, check the ohmage on the armature, and see if I did really damage to it. So let's see what we can do. Alright, so let's start to pull this baby apart, and so I can check the armature and see if it's not burnt up too bad. So mostly familiar with a turbo, you have to remove this little clip in the back of the motor that holds like the axle or the armature in place. We'll set that aside. Pop out the rear axle assembly. And then basically just push the can out just like that. It's pretty simple. I've got the can marked with an arrow that shows that goes down when I put it back in the chassis. So what we'll do is we'll pull the pinion off. We'll do a little separation here on the aluminum that holds all the magnets in place. And then we'll just slide that puppy out. Just like that. And I've got my special little tool, so I don't have to be really mean to take it apart. Spread the little ears apart, and she comes right out. Doesn't look too bad. There's a problem. I know you probably can't see this on camera, but the bushes in the middle there are gone. So they've disintegrated. So I'm probably going to have to get a new one of those. So let's see if we can find one and go at it. So looking at this armature out of my SRT, it looks a little bit marked up and maybe kind of gouged a little bit. So we're going to see if we can clean that baby up a little bit. And see if it can be saved and see how it runs in the car when I put it back in. Alright, so I've got my handy dandy Dremel tool, my semi-chrome polish that I use for my armatures, and a wonderful t-shirt. So we'll put a little dollop on a t-shirt. Turn my Dremel to low. Put it right on there so we can polish that baby up. And it came out pretty good. I don't mind that. That might just work out just fine back in the car again. It's nice and shiny. Doesn't look like it has any more grooves in it. So I'll get a new piece here and we'll see if we can get it back together. Alright, so I'll move the camera around a little bit, and I'm going to hope to see if I can do an ohmage test on my armature to make sure it's still putting out like 6 ohms for the class. So all you need to do is get your ohm meter, find each lobe of the armature. See if I can get this to show. So to do. Alright, so 5/8 on that lobe. 5.9 on that lobe. And 5.9 on that lobe. So that's all 3 lobes. All of them are between 5.9 or 5.8. So that looks acceptable to me. So we're going to throw it back in the car. All right, now that I've got everything checked and everything looks good, let's reassemble this puppy and put her back together. Slide that back in. Get my little special tool back out. Put that in. You need to squeeze these aluminum pieces back together to make it so that it will hold back in place again once you put it back in your car, once you get it all lined up. Just like that. And because I know it goes down, we're going to slide the traction magnets back in. I got the arrow that shows that that portion goes down, so we'll stick that in there. Got to clear the connectors here. That's back in place. Stick the pinion gear back on. Our little clip that holds everything in place. Snap her back together. Pull back over the test block. Click it on. And get her ready for the next race and see if she'll last the whole race. There you go. Thanks for watching.